Greetings! I made a vote last time about should I make a standalone guide for Synchro Summon, and over 150 plus votes, 62% vote yes. So here it is. It's actually just a simple equation. Yep, we're gonna learn a little bit of math here. So here I'm guiding you on how to play a Synchro based deck. I'm saying it's Synchro based deck because we are gonna talk about the deck that their main purpose of the build is to keep spamming Synchro Summon to summon the monster that you need in the duel. Unlike other decks like Zombie Roll, Drytron, or even Blue Eyes deck that have many Synchro monster but is not considered a Synchro based deck. They have and use a Synchro Summon as well, but just for a purpose to summon the needed support monster from the rest of the deck, since they can access them. So, having bunch of Synchro monster in the extra deck doesn't mean it's a Synchro based deck. Synchro based deck that are currently top tier in the meta right now is Virtual World, or I just call it V-World, followed by Adamant Cipitor. V-World is currently a cheaper meta deck. It's not the cheapest deck, but it's cheaper compared to the other meta decks that require above 600 UR points, and V-World can be even built under 500 UR points. So if you want to step into the Synchro based deck and still want to be able to stomp people in Platinum rank while learning Synchro Summon, you can go ahead build these decks. If you want, I've made a video about V-World before, you can check it by clicking here. Let's dive into the explanation. I remind you again, Synchro is a math, simple equation. But before we dive into the Synchro monster, let's talk about the tuner monster, the specific main deck monster that you need to summon Synchro monster from the extra deck. Tuner itself is actually a subtype of the monster. You can see it in the card right here. In the game, it has an icon like this. It's a music instrument called tuning fork, or some people call it resonator. That's why there is an archetype named Resonator, and it's a Synchro based deck of Red Dragon Archfiend. If you haven't checked my Resonator videos, you can click here. I also did live streaming before with the deck in the Synchro Festival. You can check it in my latest live videos. Tuner monster is always the requirements for Synchro Summon 99% of the Synchro monster in the game right now. That's why in Synchro based deck, you're gonna need a lot of tuner monster in your deck to make it consistent enough having access to Synchro Summon in every start of the duel. Let's talk about Synchro monster. It's just a simple extra deck monster with the white color cards. Pretty cool, huh? Usually like any other extra deck monster, it always stated in the card's description of what are the material required to summon them. The generic Synchro monster usually have requirements like this: 1 tuner plus 1 plus non-tuner monster. Such a simple equation. Anything at the front is always a tuner monster, and after the plus sign, this is always a non-tuner monster. Which means you must and only need 1 tuner monster and 1 or more other non-tuner monster on the field. It doesn't need any spell activation like fusion spell or ritual spell to summon them. You only need the required material on the field. If both of the required monster are on the field and your extra deck are glowing yellow, means you are eligible to Synchro Summon the monster that you need. Click it and you're going to send the required monster to the graveyard and Synchro Summon the Synchro monster. Pretty simple, right? Now let's come to the hard part. Why I say it's an equation? Because it's revolved around the total level of the monster. I remind you again what level is. In monster card, this thing that look like a Dragon Balls is called levels, and it's defined the total level number of the monster. If it has 6 Dragon Balls, means it's a level 6 monster. So Synchro Summoning means you must match the material's total levels number with the Synchro monster that you need to summon. For example, the newly popular Synchro monster, Baronne de Fleur, is a generic synchro monster. It requires 1 tuner plus 1 plus non-tuner monster, and you need to keep in mind the level of the monster as well. It has 10 Dragon Balls, means it's a level 10 synchro monster. Based on the requirement, we have the minimum equation level X tuner plus level Y non-tuner equals level X plus Y synchro monster. X and Y here are the total level of each monster of the materials, and our synchro monster that we want to summon is level 10. So it becomes X plus Y equals 10. It could be 1 plus 9, 2 plus 8, 5 plus 5, so it depends. No matter what X and Y is, the final outcome must be exactly 10, no more or less. So you have to plan what are the level of the tuner monster that you are possessed right now. If you have a level 2 tuner on the field, and if you want to summon Barone the Fleur, means you need a non-tuner monster that are level 8. Same goes for other numbers as long as the total outcome is level 10. But if you see the requirements again, it's stated 1 plus non-tuner monster, which means it can be more than 2 monster to synchro summon Barone. Let's say you have a level 2 tuner on the field, but you don't even have any level 8 monster in your main deck. You can still use 2 or more monster with a combined total level of 8. So the equation can go like level 2 tuner plus level 3 plus 5 non-tuner monster equals level 10 Barone. And then you are successfully synchro summon synchro monster. Alright, are you still here with me? Yes, this is the hardest summon method in this game, so big brain is needed just to summon a monster. And this is just a generic synchro monster, which means you can synchro summon this monster in any decks of any archetype as long as you have the tuner monster in your deck. Let's come to the harder part. Let's say you want to summon Shooting Quasar Dragon. The requirements say 1 tuner synchro monster plus 2 or more non-tuner synchro monster. Okay, let's break down the requirement first. The tuner must be a synchro monster. The non-tuner must be a synchro monster as well. And the non-tuner must be at least 2 monster, no less. And Quasar is a level 12 monster. So the minimum equation goes like level X tuner synchro plus level Y non-tuner synchro plus level Z non-tuner synchro equals level X plus Y plus Z synchro monster. So if you have level 2 tuner synchro, means you need 10 more levels of the non-tuner synchro. But since it stated at least 2 non-tuner synchro, you cannot just summon Quasar with a level 10 non-tuner synchro. It must at least 2 non-tuner synchro with a total combined levels of 10. To simplify it, I'll make an example of level 2 tuner synchro plus level 2 non-tuner synchro plus level 8 non-tuner synchro equals level 12 Quasar. 2 plus 2 plus 8 equals 12. With this equation, you are successfully summoned Quasar. Monster that I use as an example is quite generic, even though it requires synchro monster. It doesn't specify the specific monster. But there are a lot of synchro monster that requires the unique specification, like Red Nova Dragon. It specifies Red Dragon Archifian as the non-tuner monster. Crystal Clear Wing. It specifies any Clear Wing monster in its name as the non-tuner. Shooting Majestic. Oh man. It specifies Majestic Dragon as the tuner monster. Must a Majestic Dragon. And also at the end it said including a Dragon Synchro monster. Means for the non-tuner monster, it doesn't need to be all Dragon Synchro. You just need at least 1 Dragon Synchro as a non-tuner. High Speed Droid Kite Drake. It specifies any tuner monster that have wind attribute that are also machine type monster. Pretty weird, right? Ignister Prominence. It specifies Pendulum monster as the non-tuner monster. And there are even Synchro monster that are also a Pendulum monster. It needs to be Synchro summoned first, but when it dies, it will go back to extra deck face up, and you can summon it back with Pendulum Summon. And there are also some Synchro monster that cannot be Synchro summoned at all. It falls under a special condition to special summon. I suggest you read the card by yourself first if you want to use this monster. And that's all I can guide on how to Synchro summon. If you like the guide, let me know in the comment. If you need other summoning method guide like Exit Summon, Link Summon, Ritual Summon, or etc. For Pendulum Summon, you can check it in my Endymion guide. It has some of the Pendulum monster and Pendulum Summoning explanation there. But if you still need more explanation about Pendulum Summoning, you can let me know in the comment and I'll compile all of those questions into one video for it. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe. See you in the duel field.